Shalom, all praises, glory, honor, and the fears to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahushai Bahashim, Racha HaKodash. A double honor to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, and citation to you like true lively stones, the remnant, the house of David that the Lord is calling, and the return to the mighty power. And I want to talk about, brotherly love that has to continue. Brotherly love must continue. And that's why the Lord said, have fervent charity among yourselves. Because one of the heaviest curses that came upon our people was the Lord said he was going to cut the staff into two, being the northern and southern kingdom. And that's one thing you really have to overcome is all this evil eye. That's why Yahushua said if your eye offends, you gotta pluck it out. You gotta pluck it out. And even the wicked of our nation, as evil as they are, you have to love them as well. You're not gonna love them as you love a brother that's like unto you, obviously, but you have to still love them from a distance. Feed the Lord's sheep, both to the good and bad. Like Paul said, so shall ye heap coals of fire upon his head. You see, and this is what this truth is all about. Is all about. Matter of fact, let me get that precept. The Lord said he's going to cut that off, and that's what happened. That was fulfilled. Alright, Zechariah 11:14, it says, Then I cut asunder mine other staff, even bands, that I might break the brotherhood between Judah and Israel. And what the Lord is doing in these last moments, he's raising us out of that dead state, that dark state, the valley of dry bones, and we're becoming one in his hand, unified under one power, not divided into two, having our eyes single, all right, because we cut that eye out. We've circumcised our heart, because there's nothing really more worse than an evil eye, which a lot of guys have in this truth, even amongst camps. And brothers don't talk about this as much as they should, because this is a very important. This is the second highest command from the Lord, to love your neighbor as yourself, and to teach him how to love, teach him how to be a neighbor, be a brother. Matthew 18:9. And if thine eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. You see, take that evil out of you, man. It is better for thee to enter into life with one eye rather than having two eyes be cast into hellfire. Keeping your eyes single. But a lot of guys, they don't take heed. They take it as a light thing. Deuteronomy 28:54, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. And that's one of the biggest curses of our nation, man. Our people has been divided, destroyed for lack of knowledge, and that's why it's so important to giving them this knowledge and reproving them, rebuking them. Because that was what Yahushua was doing. He was condemning the wicked of our people that wasn't going to get right, saying woe to them. And he was healing the people that needed healing. By what? His austerity, his severeness, his rebuke. He would say, come out of her, come out of him. And that evil spirit would come out. Alright? Romans 5:7, for scarcely for a righteous man will one die. See, so it's very scarce. And the Lord said, the righteous shall be scarcely saved. Right, it's going. Let's get that word for scarcely. And this is what it's going to take for us to conquer death, conquer this evil, and have victory. Is by fulfilling the law. And that's who the Lord's going to come and gather, those that fulfill the law. For scarcely for a righteous man will one die, yet peradventure for a good man someone even dare to die. And that's what Yahushua did. He paved the way. And he showed us the greatest act of love, what love really is. It's not saying, oh, I love you, man, or I love you to your wife. It's showing it through your actions. And not just with your words. So you can do a video every 0.2 seconds. Oh, I'm on fire. Yeah, but it's a strange fire. And then you being very ill. You're being very ill to your neighbor. So what good does that do? It doesn't do good to nobody, man. So let's get that word for scarcely.
Strong's G 3433, malis.
And that's why we do this daily in the temple, our daily sacrifice. All right, so our word scarcely is with difficulty, hardly, with much work. You know, so you have to have a good work ethic in this truth. It says with difficulty, not easily, very rarely. And that's which could have come to find out is that finding a friend in these times, finding a brother that is like unto yourself, is going to be very rare, because you're rare. All right, diamonds and gold and precious stones, they're in the back, they're locked away. They're not amongst the reprobate silver in the front, which everyone can see and touch, and easily to be taken and stolen, you know. This is Sirach 6 and verse 16. It says, I'm sorry, verse 14. It says, a faithful friend is a strong defense, and he that hath found such an one hath found a treasure. You know, and the Lord's treasure is what? The fear of the Lord is his treasure. You know, and birds of a feather flock together. So you're going to be flying with other men that fear the Lord. Nothing though countervail a faithful friend, and his excellency is invaluable. Right? It cannot be valued. It cannot be. There's not a price on it. It's priceless. A faithful friend is a medicine of life, and they that fear the Lord shall find him. Whoso feareth the Lord shall direct his friendship aright. For as he is, so shall his neighbor be also. See, a lot of guys, what they've done, they've given that friend. Well, because they're not a neighbor, they're not a friend of the Lord. Because what the Lord say, you are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you. A lot of guys, they don't really preach the gospel how it's supposed to be taught. You know, so it's woe to a lot of guys, which I'm going to get that as well. But I believe it's in Sirach as well, I'm going to get right now. But a lot of guys, they've traded that in for the world, for gold, for subscribers, for likes, for love of this world. Check this out, Sirach 7 and verse 17 says, humble thyself greatly. And a lot of guys are not able to do that because they're so proud. You see, and that's the proud. See, the proud, they hate humility. The rich, they hate the poor, and that's what a lot of guys have. They're proud, they're rich, you know, and they hate humility. Brothers that are clothed in humility, they hate the brothers that are poor. Just as Yahushua, he was made poor so that we might be made rich, and we're rich in the spirit. For the vengeance of the ungodly is fire and worms. Verse 18, the point. Change not a friend for any good by no means. Neither a faithful friend, it's like neither a faithful brother for the gold of Ophir. Because what's going to be Ophir in these times, or gold, or high valued, is a man of the Lord. For gold, not a wise and a good woman, for her grace is above gold. See, but people, they put their stock, they put their trust in carnal things. Not the spiritual things, not the Lord's true chosen. Because if you can't love your brother that is like unto yourself, or have mercy upon him, then how do you think the Lord's going to love you, which you have not seen? See, a lot of guys are hypocrites, you see. John 15 and verse, and you can't know a friend in a prosperity, which prosperity days are over. We're in the time of adversity, and now you're seeing who's the real friends and who's really chosen, and they're being tried in the fire. You see, and they're not backsliding and trimming the way to seek love. No, they're saying, hey man, turn up the heat. Because the Lord, it ain't going to be to destroy me, but to what? To purge me, to make me gold, to make me finer. You know, John 15 and 10. I saw verse 8. It says, herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit, so that shall ye be my disciples. As the Father hath loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love. If ye can keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. You see, full. And you fulfill the law. And you're full of light, and there's no darkness. There's no sense of stumbling within you, because you're overcoming all these evil, all these curses. You're fighting the good fight of faith. The word for full.
Strong's G 4137. Plerao.
Yeah, check that out. It says to render full, to complete, to fill to the top, so that nothing shall be wanting, to full measure, fill to the brim, right? And Lord said, what? Our cup runneth over. You see? So it's nothing for us to show a brother love or mercy or kindness. But a lot of guys are not merciful. They're wicked. They're not kind. Of matters of duty to perform, execute, to carry into effect, bring into realization, to realize. We have to realize this, man. It says to fulfill an example, to cause God's will as made known in the law to be obeyed as it should be, and God's promises given through the prophets to receive fulfillment. So let's keep reading here. John 15 and verse 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Ye are my friends if they do whatsoever I command you. And the ones that are doing everything that Yahushua commanded them is what? His bride, his faithful, his loyal, his chosen. James 1 and 22. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. And look, guys, and that's another reason why our channel's getting clipped down and we're hard to find, because a lot of guys, they're not worthy of these words. Lord said, cast not your pearls to swine. Lord said he would hide the truth. The truth shall be hidden. The land shall be barren of faith. You see? So this truth, wisdom is departing into its secret chambers. So you have to be a doer of the word, not just listening or just speaking it. You have to be doing it, putting it to action. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. Right? He forgot what he was. You see? Verse 25. But whoso looketh into the perfect law of liberty and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed. So those that are really doing it and putting it to fruition, they're going to be blessed. But the ones that ain't, they're going to be cursed, because they didn't take heed, man. To Yahushua, which Yahushua is still speaking. He still lives through us. And he's speaking through us. This is Ephesians 6 and 11. Put on the whole armor of power, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. Here's the point. Against spiritual wickedness in high places. So we have spiritual wickedness even amongst our people that's in high places, that are murdered, that they murdered their brothers, man. They murdered the prophets, they murdered Yahushua, they killed Yahushua, which a lot of you guys that don't bring that out, all right, Lord's gonna kill you. Lord's gonna destroy you, because why? You're not preaching the gospel, the good news, to the lowly, to the blind, to the maimed, the ones that are hurt, have been hurt and taken advantage of their kindness. So by you not standing up for the poor and needy, the widow, Lord's gonna destroy you for that, man, because that's the whole purpose and duty of a man. All right, to come up against the wicked. Not to just go along to get along with everybody, man. Ephesians 1 and 3. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, who hath blessed us with all spiritual blessings and heavenly places in Yahushua. So you have the differentiation of the two. You have spiritual wickedness in high places. You have all subscribers. Everyone loves them. Everyone speaks well of them. For so did they the false prophets, man. Luke 6. But the ones that are blessed in spiritual blessings and heavenly places in the heaven, and our conversation is in the world to come, when Yahushua, according as he hath chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love. You see, in love. Verse 6, to the praise of the glory of his grace, wherein he hath made us accepted in the beloved. So we're accepted in the beloved. Matthew 24 and 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So you don't want to turn cold like a lot of guys. Freeze, because Lord said you make us of a quick understanding, a quick spirit, and a lot of guys, they're freezing up, they're frozen, their heart's frozen. You don't want that to overcome you as well. That's why Lord said in Sirach 6 to separate from your enemies, take heed of your friends. And if that means that you only gonna have like 1 or 2 friends, man, guess what? You have to value those men highly, man. Because truthfully, there's not really a lot of men of the Lord left. And that's a fact. Alright? That's a fact. If you say otherwise, man, then you're just a demon and you're just in this for filthy lucre. You want to run up a check, and you want to just take advantage of the sheep, man. Like I was just surfing the web this morning. I just clicked on these camps live stream, and lo and behold, right when I click on it, he goes, "Well, we want you. We look out for you females too." You start talking about the woman, man. You can't make this stuff up, man. The spirit is really revealing a lot of things. You know, just got Jake too busy talking to you how to love a woman. You know, how about how to love your brother, man? See, Romans 13:10, love worketh no ill to his neighbor, therefore love is a fulfilling of the law. See, and let's get that word for ill. A lot of you guys, you're ill, man. You're sick.
Strong's G 2556. Carcass.
See, but the Lord doesn't want everyone to be healed, and you have to understand that as well. The Lord's only going to heal the few that's going to really trust and believe in His word, because it wasn't mortifying plaster or some kind of carnal thing that restored us to health, but it's the Lord's word that's going to heal us entirely when He comes back and changes us. But it's all starting within the mind, you know. That's why Paul said, not the putting away of the flesh, but of a good answer, a good conscience towards the Lord. All right, so that word ill is of a bad nature, not such as it ought to be. Of a mode of thinking, feeling, acting, base, wrong, wicked, troublesome, injurious, pernicious, destructful, baneful. So see, a lot of guys, they have this ill, harmful, destructive, and they're what? They're destroyed for lack of knowledge. And they really, what's the word? They kind of like disregard this as something that's not really important. You see? Oh, Ezekiel 38 is way more important. This prophecy is way more important. The mark of the beast, the mark of Esau. But this is like the second biggest commandment, man. Isaiah 44:20. He feedeth on ashes. A deceived heart hath turned him aside, that he cannot deliver his soul, nor say, is there not a lie in my right hand? And that's what guys are, man. Satan stands at the right hand of a lot of guys. Now that word ashes, a lot of guys, they feed on ashes. They feed the sheep ashes. They feed on ashes. That word ashes is figuratively for worthlessness, because they don't even preach the gospel with big words and this and that. They deceive the heart of the simple. Now a synonym of this word is fallacious. All right, fallacious is based on a mistaken belief. Right, they're mistaken, man. Incorrect, flawed, faulty, false, untrue, wrong, distorted. Right? Iffy, unproven. And the Lord said, prove a friend first. Be not hasty to credit any man. Groundless, unfounded, right? They don't have they're not based upon that rock. Misleading, misguiding. A lot of guys are misguiding. All right, real quick. Sirach 20:22. There is that destroyeth his own soul through bashfulness, and by accepting of persons overthroweth himself. So a lot of guys can be overthrown by what? Accepting persons. Oh, he's in my camp. Oh, he has this title on his name. Oh, he's good. That word bashful is reluctant to draw attention to oneself, shy. See? You're not supposed to allow anyone to sin thereby. Receive not. Let me get that precept. Let me get that precept real quick. Yeah, accept no person against thy soul, and let not the reverence of any man cause thee to fall. You know, because there's a lot of respect. A lot of guys have respect of persons, and that's why a lot of wrong judgment goes out, and a lot of dudes, they move wrong. They move like serpents and snakes and evil men. 1 Corinthians 9:16. For though I preach the gospel, yeah, and I have nothing to glory of, for necessity is laid upon me, yeah, woe is me unto me if I preach not the gospel. And a lot of guys, you don't preach the gospel. You don't really preach Matthew 23. You don't really go into the parables, right? You don't really come against the wicked of our nation. You want to just join hand in hand. You want to be a neutral, everybody. I'm going to tell you something, you neutral niggas. You neutral guys. You're going to get yourself and others killed because of that. You can't be in the middle. You see? There's only one way. There's only one power. See? And that's why it's a woe to a lot of men. Job 19 and verse 13. And this is what's going to happen when the hand of the Most High is upon you. This is what's going to happen. happened to Moses, happened to Joseph, Yahushai. Smite the shepherd, the sheep shall scatter. Everyone left Yahushai. He was, alone at that time. He hath put my brethren far from me, and my acquaintance are verily estranged from me. My kinsfolk have failed, and my familiar friends have forgotten me. They that dwell in mine house and my maids count me for a stranger. I am an alien in their sight. I called my servant, and he gave me no answer. I entreated him with my mouth. My breath is strange to my wife, though I entreated for my children's sake of my own body. Yeah, young children despised me. I arose, and they spake against me. All my inward friends abhorred me, and they whom I loved are turned against me. You see? So that's what's going to happen when you're in the spirit. You see? But one friend that ain't going to leave you or ever forsake you is Yahushai. And that's the main friend you want to have in these times, man. Psalms 31. This is a prayer for a suffering penitent. It says, O Lord, rebuke me not in thy wrath, neither chasten me in thy hard displeasure. Right? So the Lord's going to rebuke through what? Through other men of God, through other men of the Lord. See? You have to what? Receive that. And now if you don't take heed of sound reproof, then guess what? You're going to be destroyed. Because you're proud. No one can tell you nothing. See, this truth ain't just about pointing the finger. Oh yeah, you this, you that, you this, you doing that. It's also what? The finger being pointed back at you, and you getting yourself right as well. For that, and let me just jump down to verse point. Verse 11, my lovers and my friends stand aloof from my sore, and my kinsmen stand afar off. They also that seek after my life lay snares for me, and they that seek my hurt speak mischievous things and imagine deceits all the day long. And this is what a lot of the wicked of our nation do. They did to Yahushai with the chief rulers, the elders, the Pharisees, scribes. They did this to Yahushai, the other apostles, and guess what? It's happening all over again. It's happening all over again, man. Verse 19, but mine enemies are lively and they are strong, and they that hate me wrongfully are multiplied. Just like Yahushai, they hated him without a cause. So they gonna what? They won't hate us without a cause, or they gonna just try to find something just to hate us for. But it's all good, because that means what? So did they, the real prophets, man. They also that render evil for good are mine adversaries, because I follow the thing that good is, right? And what's good? Yahushai. Following the Lord. And that's why there are adversaries, man. You got a lot of adversaries, a lot of anti-Yahushais. Because why? They render evil for good. They put darkness for light. And it's what? Woe to them. Woe to a lot of you guys. You see? Sirach 23 and 28. It is great glory to follow the Lord, and to receive of him is long life. And you have to understand that there's an order, all right? Before honor is what? Humility. And a lot of guys, they want the honor without being humiliated for the word. That's why a lot of guys, they're really ashamed of the gospel and of us prisoners of the Lord. They want to be free and just do whatever they want to do, and just no one tell them nothing, you know? But in prison, man, you have set times. You have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this, you know? 1 Corinthians 3 and 3, for ye are yet carnal, for whereas there is among you envying and strife and divisions, are ye not carnal and walk as men? So a lot of guys are still carnal. They're not spiritually minded. You know? But it must be. Until Shiloh come, then shall the gathering of the tribes be. Wisdom of Solomon 7:14. For she is a treasure unto men that never faileth, which they that use become the friends of power, being commended for the gifts that come from learning. A lot of guys, they haven't learned from the things that were written aforetime. They haven't learned from their mistakes. That's why the Lord's going to say in that day, ye workers of iniquity, I never knew you, because they just heap sin upon sin upon sin. They're lawless, man. They ain't fulfilling the law. The law of liberty, like we read earlier in James 1 and 25. God granted me to speak as I would, and to conceive as is meet for the things that are given me, because it is he that leadeth unto wisdom and directeth the wise. And that's going to cause what? A lot of isolation. You see? Let me get this precept as well. Sirach 20 and verse 13. A wise man by his words maketh him beloved, but the graces of fools shall be poured out. Right, their cup ain't gonna be full. They're gonna be empty. Lord's gonna pour them out, and he's gonna pour his heart displeasure over them, man. Like you read in Corinthians, the Lord was not pleased with a lot of Israel back then, because why? Of their belief, their wickedness. So let me read that again. A wise man by his words maketh him beloved, but the graces of fools shall be poured out. And that which they seem to have, even that shall be taken from them, man, and given to the man that has 10 talents. From too much is given, much shall be required. It says, the gift of a fool shall do thee no good when thou hast it, neither yet of the envious for his necessity. For he looketh to receive many things for one. And this is a lot of guys, they you know, you might stretch out a hand to help him, then all of a sudden he's gonna look to you for like, you owe me, I'm, carnal men. He giveth little and upbraideth much. He openeth his mouth like a cry. Today he lendeth, and tomorrow he will ask it again. Such an one is behaved of God and man. The fool saith, I have no friends. Right, but the wise, we know that we have friends. It might be very small, but we understand that, you have to keep your circle small, man. That's how the Lord wants it. Keep it tight. I have no thank for all my good deeds, and they that eat my bread speak evil of me. How oft and of how many shall he be laughed to scorn? For he knoweth not aright what it is to have, and it is all one unto him as if he had it not. And like you have the Toy Story song, you have a friend in me. Well, we have a friend in Yahweh Shai, and then the faithful out there, the ones that fear the Lord, as we do. Because when you go to Malachi, this is a prophecy, Malachi 3 and 16. And those that fear the Lord spake off one to another, and a book of remembrance was written for them. So there's an Acts 2.0 being written right now in the heavens of what's going on right now. Verse 20. A wise sentence shall be rejected when it cometh out of a fool's mouth. So, like Matthew 23, that's a wise sentence. But when it comes out of a fool's mouth without understanding, then what? It's going to be rejected. For he will not speak it in due season. We're not at that season where it should be spoken right now, man. Because we're at the end. And that's what happened right prior towards the end of Yahushai's ministry, where he condemned, he exposed the wicked of our nation that were in high places, man, that were in seats of authority in the religious sections, man. Just like today in this age, man. See, that's only for the heavyweight brothers in the spirit that's able to pick that up. Verse. Let me just get them quote off of this, brothers. You also have that song, Friends, how many do us have them? A lot of guys, they've, like we read earlier in Sirach 7, they've changed a invaluable friend for what? For gold and Ophir, which, not knowing that friend, he's Ophir, he's the gold. Psalms 119 and verse 63. I'm sorry, verse 60. Alright, I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments. The bands of the wicked have robbed me, but I have not forgotten thy law. At midnight I will rise to give thanks unto thee because of thy righteous judgments. And we're approaching midnight, we're at midnight where everyone's sleeping, not awakened to righteousness, because the Lord said in Romans 13 and 11, for it is high time to wake up out of sleep. Put on the full armor of light. Psalms 119 and 63. I am a companion of all them that fear thee, and of them that keep thy precepts. That's right, man. And that's who I'm a companion of, man. And I know them. And they're solid, man. Yeah, brothers, Lord, when you're edified and comforted, man, you know, it's a beautiful time living in, brothers, and you know, keep that heat on and don't wax away and wax worse like a lot of these guys out here, man. They're cold, man. You know, cold because of iniquity, and they're all lukewarm, you know. So keep that fire on. Not no strange fire like a lot of guys, but that righteous, hot fire, man. Stay warm in these times. All praises, glory, honor, fear Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Achak, Lord, when you're edified, and destruction to all you anti-Yahushais, man. A righteous judgment is coming to all you that have not fulfilled the law, but Lord's pouring out and you're empty. And shalom to the elect, house of David. Shalom.